Hey everyone, Corey here, coming in to do the energy update for the week of March the 10th to the 16th. And this week we are stepping into a full lunar eclipse and full moon in Virgo. And so we have some major energy. This is also the energy that can bring about some disruption. But with the Virgo full moon, I believe that Virgo also tries to soften the blow a little bit here. Virgo tries to be the friendly energy in this somehow. And so there is some disruptions that we're experiencing and maybe experiencing. And one of those big experiences we did kind of see this morning with with X, Twitter going down and then of course now coming back up. But I don't think that's the only one we're going to see this week. I think it's the beginning of seeing some big disruptions, kind of falls back into our whole year of expecting the unexpected. But we are going to see even we're going to feel and sense more of it within ourselves. So bringing it from the macro into the micro, bringing it back into ourselves is this week is where you may be experiencing a kind of a disruption in your thoughts by having, say, the path come back up, or your fears may start trying to communicate here because the shadow is here. And so we are experiencing the shadow aspect of our energy and bearing witness to that. Sometimes it's like, oh, where's this coming from? And it's hard sometimes to see beyond our own bull, right? It's hard to see beyond your own energy and what is speaking. Now, the big influence that is coming in this week that I witnessed, and it was began for me last night. So on the 9th was the entrance of Archangel Michael. And whenever Archangel Michael comes to me, and then as I slept, I had a deep conversation with God, and God began to speak to me again through my dreams. And normally it's just when I'm in here and I get to talk, and God translates through some of this energy for me, translates through this energy for me. But it was really truly about the path back to love and finding our way back to love. And through that was the image of Mother Mary. And so there is a lot of divine inner energy. When we see disruptions in energy, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be a negative effect. It can be a very positive effect. And so through the negative, though there is the negative impacts, there's also a very positive influence. And a disruption can also be that. So Archangel Michael came as a disruption to the plans. And so Archangel Michael often comes and just tells me there's something on the way, there's things coming, but I'm here. And so a foiled plan, things getting foiled, things kind of being disrupted. And so if you're making plans and they don't work out as you're trying to make them work out, then there might be a good possibility that it wasn't for you. It wasn't the path that you're meant to walk. It wasn't the journey for you. It wasn't where you're meant to go. If it was you were going on a date and that didn't work, then you weren't meant to go on that date. And it's like sometimes you got to thank your guardians and thank the angels and thank all of your protectors, because sometimes if you get stood up, you get ghosted. Say thank you. That's for my singles. So say thank you to the divine protection that just surrounds you and is protecting you from some of the possibilities of what's out there and what could be influencing, or what could be showing up in your energy. And so, or it's in your life that you really don't want to have to deal with again. So we are going to see, in this is where you see the past kind of come back in as well. And so it could be something or someone of the past that just enters back in, and or into your, it could be just back into your thoughts and just thinking, oh, what if that had a, what if I would have walked that path, or what if I would have stayed in that relationship, or what if, and it's just like, remember why you weren't there. Remember why you were not in that anymore. And so that is all that's in this energy. Now, it, like I said, it is bringing in a real influence of the divine, and it's so easy. I can just feel the need to the want. There's a want behind this to want to go to everything that could possibly transpire. But it's like everything that could possibly happen, but what if it doesn't? So if it's the possibility of something negative, it's like, but what if there's a best outcome? What if there's something better that's happening? What if there's something better working out? So it does feel like through this lunar eclipse energy, through this full moon energy, through everything that's transpiring, this is a good week of really, the last couple weeks have had this where miracles could be unfolding, where something miraculous could be happening. And so as I was sitting with this energy last night and just asking, and I woke up this morning, I start to write out some of this transcript. I was trying to transcribe some of the messages that I was receiving last night. And it's the way back to love and finding our way back to love, and that love is the way. And love is the way doesn't mean that it's all about romantic love. It's about really acting from love, acting from what would real divine love have me do? And sometimes real divine love has us, walking the path of closing doors and shutting doors and just saying, I'm not going to allow myself to be treated this way anymore. I'm not going to tolerate this no more. I'm not just going to accept second best. I'm not going to accept breadcrumbs. I'm not going to accept I'm not going to accept this even from myself. And so it's easy to say, yeah, I'm not accepting this from anyone else. I'm standing up for myself. But are you standing up to your own inner critic and your own inner enemy? I have elastic on my arm. Are you standing up to your own inner critic? Are you standing up to your own inner enemy that keeps you believing a narrative in your head that is probably not true? Are you really looking at things from the perspective that it's what somebody else is doing, but what are you believing? What are you telling yourself? And sometimes, we associate, well, this is a feeling, but sometimes it's not a feeling. Sometimes it's a belief. And it's like beyond the feeling, it's like I'm not, are you really feeling this? And so this is what God was giving me and said, like, are you really feeling this way, Corey? Or have you created a belief? You look at the world. Are people really feeling this way, or are they creating a belief? And so is the world really feeling as frightened, as sad, or have you created a belief? And because of the belief, you're chasing a pattern, you're chasing a path, you're following something because now you have a belief. And when you have a belief and and that belief becomes implemented, set in or imprint it, then you start to set your values around that belief, or you start to chase the narrative. You start to create a story, and then the story grows. And when the story grows, look what unfolds. So, in the big picture, in the big scale, what God was telling me was that a lot of people are really in the spectrum right now in the collective consciousness. So I don't want to say people, in the collective consciousness is that this is all being associated to feelings, and that it's creating like this ripple of emotional responses, but it's not actually coming from the feelings. It's we are in the head. And so in the head space and creating beliefs and creating these beliefs around specific things that now are being dug in, and it has created a greater casting of shadows. It has created a greater casting of kind of a trickster energy. And it is, once again, this is like Jezebel energy. It is what can be passed off because now we have a belief. And these beliefs are being uh, built upon like building blocks. And so building this belief. So if you believe somebody, if you're like, oh, well, this person is this way. And so it's not that you're feeling this way, that this person is creating this feeling, is you have created a belief. And if I create a belief that this person is this, then now they're going to become whatever it is in the story that I want them to be. And so that is coming from something else within ourselves and is being built in the building blocks of this collective consciousness. It is not being built on strong foundations. So we have a lot of very, very weak foundations that are being motivated the by the emotional body, by the pain body, but it's not being filtered through the divine. It is not being filtered through a higher expression of self. So it's coming from the lower energies, it's coming from the lower energy centers. And so it is a lower expression and not a higher expression. And so it's just becoming like this messy energy. And so there's in the collective consciousness, things are very messy. They're very icky. They're very all over the place. And it's so easy to get lost. It is like when if everyone begins to go this way, maybe you should go that way, right? When everything is saying, well, you got to do this, you got to get on this side, you got to do this, you got to do that, that's when I'm going, I'm going to go this way. I'm sorry, I can't buy into that. And so that's the kind of language that I was being given through communicating last night. And so through this conversation, it was like this is built on feelings, and it's not built on feelings because feelings bring about that which gives us expression of love. Beliefs gives that which we call love, that then moves into the action that creates hate. And so those beliefs is creating more and more of hate and more of a negative response and not more of the positive response. Archangel Michael is coming in to kind of break down this energy that is building up this strong beliefs. And it's not about one side, other side. This happens on all sides. And so this happens everywhere. And it's so easy to mix it in or to be confused by this energy, and it's so easy to get lost in it. And so and this is not true light, and it's not the truth in responses. There is something greater that is unfolding. There's something greater that is coming in, and that is the expression of love. And how do we see this love? And how do we know this love? And what I got was um, love sparks joy, and joy is created from within. But when you bear witness to somebody else's destruction or somebody else being caused hurt and pain, and you celebrate that, that is actually not joy. That is not joy. When your joy is sparked at the cost of somebody else being hurt, harmed, or feeling the hurt and feeling the harm of something in their demise, and you can laugh and joke about it, and you can find humor in that, that is actually not joy. That's activating your sinister energy. And when you activate the sinister energy, when the sinister energy is activated, it is motivating more that is coming from the inner chambers of darkness within and not that of light. And this is an evolving energy right now that is evolving, that is growing. It is not a healthy energy. It is not good for anyone. It is not serving the highest good. It is not serving anyone's highest good. It is making, it is turning the energy, it's turning people blind. And there's a blindness, there's a spiritual, emotional blindness that is coming in that's kind of cloaking, and it's creating these veils of illusions that is taking us farthest away. It is like creating an AI version of joy and an AI version of love. It is robotic. It is kind of, it is, it is not working in any way of climbing us into the higher expressions, not into a divine expression, but into a lower expression. So when when hate when hate is passed off as joy, when 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 we're celebrating the destruction of anyone or anything else, and we celebrate it in such a way that we cheer it and we're happy about it, we that's not joy. When we know there is something that needs to be taken care of and needs to be done, and nobody walks away cheering or celebrating, just recognizing that, whoa, that's, I don't ever want to have to go through that again. I don't ever want to be put in that position again. I don't ever want to have to deal with that again. I hope we never have to see that again. I hope we never have to go through that again, because you do feel the compassion, you feel the pain, you feel the hurt. but you're not celebrating that somebody else, that it came at a cost to somebody else. And that happens a lot of times in our own relationships. I know for myself, it's like people say, well, oh, you must be so happy that you did this or that you moved up beyond that. And I'm like, well, no, I feel good that I'm able to move forward, but I never celebrate seeing somebody else having to also be miserable or be sad or be unhappy. I don't, that that doesn't that doesn't feed or fuel my soul. That feeds and fuels that feeds and fuels the darkness. And when we attach and we connect to the manipulation, the manipulative side, or the sinister energy, or the trickster, or the dark side of any of the archetypes, and that's where we begin to build our society from. And we build our society, and we build our beliefs, and we build our values from the dark side of any of that energy. We are heading into a not a good place within ourselves and within our world that we exist in. And so sometimes there's just a better way, and it is the return to love. And this means divine love. This means unconditioned love. Love, true divine love, does not come with a stack of conditions, and it does not come with a list of laws and bad laws and judgment. It comes with discernment. It comes with knowing that sometimes we have to do the right things for the right reasons. They may be hard, they may be difficult, they may be challenging, and that if we live in celebrating someone else's downfall, that the karma of that is that we're going to have to know that feeling ourselves within our lives. And you don't want to have to know that feeling. You don't want to live with that. And so there's a shift that is being asked of us. Archangel Michael is asking us to really truly cut that bond that we're making and those beliefs that we're creating from that weak energy that is not serving anyone. And I just keeps bringing me back to that celebration of celebrating, say, a man on a cross, and seeing that man on a cross as to be celebrated, and thinking that that was something great. Seeing, the demise and of, the burning of the witches, and laughing and celebrating about something that created a belief. All of that's happening is no different, no matter which side it's on. It doesn't make a difference. You are not right on either side for any of those beliefs that are being created, and you called them those feelings because you've created this feeling makes me feel this way, because we're not getting our own way. And so there is a massive shift. And this disruption does not mean always a negative disruption, but there is a negative. And sometimes when we see a negative, when something goes wrong, how we respond, how we react, how we show up is what matters. Who will we be through crisis? Who will we be through pain? Who will we be through bearing witness to something happening that means that it's going to come at a cost? And who will we be on the other side of that? So who will we be on the other side of all of these experiences? And how do we want to show up? And how do we want to live? And how do we want to be seen? And how do we want to be remembered? Remember, all of Earth is truly often a lower expression, and it's up to us to climb up and to find our way into our divine expression, to find our way back, to find our way to the light, to find our way to the place of where we can distinguish the difference between imitation light and true light. And imitation light does not smirk at anyone's hurt and pain. It does not celebrate anyone's fall. It's recognizing that any time and any moment in our lives, any of us can be on the other side of a narrative. That if someone has a feeling, and someone has that feeling enough about you that says, oh, I met that person and I don't like them, I hate them, they're not, I don't like the way they smile, I don't like the way they dress, I don't like I don't like who they are, I don't like that they're a medium, I don't like that they do this, I don't. And so then the belief is created, and the belief is then, oh, well, they're evil, they're dark. And so I have to destroy them. I have to bring them down. I have to really, does that make us good people? Does that really truly make us good people? And that makes us those righteous people, right? And so everything that I was being given was this sense of remembering where you come from, remembering where you belong. And this is a time that is about really truly sparking that sense of our connection to our divine. It is that return to love. It is the return to knowing that our inner joy, joy that ignites us and moves us, is the joy that comes from the highest expression. It is that which sometimes is the simplest but most beautiful moments and experiences, and we don't use witnessing somebody else's struggles or somebody else's pain journey as the way that we spark a joy within ourselves. So being very aware of is, is the feelings, is this what I'm existing in? Is this a belief? Have I created some sort of belief around this? And as Phoebe is come back, Phoebe, is as Princess Phoebe is showing up, Queen Phoebe is showing up. It's that reminder of innocence. And this is a time of where we return to our innocence. We're innocent until we are not. And when we know a truth, when we know right from wrong, and we choose to create a right out of a wrong, and we choose to turn things around to serve our motives and and our our wants, is that we forget to have faith in knowing that when things are not going the way that we want, is that this too may be temporary, and that there may be our time again, but not every day, not every moment, not every cycle means that everything is going to go exactly the way that we think it should or the way that we want it to. And so the unhealthy aspects of ego is the place to pay attention to, the unhealthy aspects of our mind, and to be able to associate correctly and properly to emotions and feelings versus creating a belief. And when we have building blocks of beliefs that are built on weak foundations, remember, those too shall fall. And so perspectives, open-minded, being very precise and intentional to come from a place of divine love, a place of observing, witnessing, getting kind of all sides of things, and really truly not feeling the pressures of the world and the pressures of life, not feeling as if you need to, like, it's so easy to be caught up in the spiral of feeling guilted or shamed into who and what you should be and how you should be showing up. And sometimes the best road to walk is the middle road. And when we step back into the middle, when we get into the place of the middle, when we rise up from the place of the middle, it is not that we are better than, it's not that you're avoiding, it's not that you're disconnecting, is that we become a light. And the more that we can just shine a light and the more that we can be a light, the more that we light up the world. And when we light up the world, when we light up our hearts, when we light up our own lives, is that this is where it pushes out the darkness. It pushes out that which feels as if it is dark. And so we're moving into some new energy. We're moving into some big shifts and finding my way back to not getting lost in anything that is kind of a disruption in my own life right now as we are trying to find a home to live in. As of right now, May the 1st, we don't have a home to go to. And we're still searching and we're still looking and we don't know what it looks like. And we are uncertain of what the future looks like, where we will be living, where we'll, where we'll be putting down roots. We don't know anything of that yet. All I do know and all I have is faith. And so I found myself getting a little caught up in that. Found myself being a little bit disturbed by being shaken up and having a little bit of an anger and a little bit of an anger about an experience that was happening in our lives and in our family, and that was hurtful and painful, and it was no one's doing. It's simply life. And as a mama bear, um, mama bear is protective. And so my mama bear protective energy was very much out. So I was a little bit like a prickly porcupine for a while. And so I believe I needed the visit from Michael and God last night to put me back and bring me back into alignment to really truly listening and getting back into that place of where love resides and love exists, and true faith is what moves us, and faith over fear, both are invisible forces, and fear can move us in so many directions and create so many belief patterns, and so can love. And so if love, um if love, if the spirit of love, let me put it this way, what are they giving me? If the spirit of love were to enter my heart, how would I show up? How would I react? How would I respond? If the spirit of truth were to enter my heart, how would I show up? How would I exist? How would I be? How would I speak? And how would I respond? So there is a spirit, there is a strength, and Michael is the divine strength, it is divine courage. And we are just being asked to really move into divine strength and divine courage. It takes a lot of divine strength and a lot of divine courage to move into faith over fear. I send you so much love. I hope you have the most amazing week. And um, we'll be talking later. Um, if you would like to know more about my work, you can go to my website. It's all in the comments below. Go to our academy. We have so many offers in the academy. Go to mteacademy.ca. You can check out myself and my dear partner Lisa Richard's work as well. We have the zodiac signs, energy forecast for each year. That each month, or each year, yeah, for the year of 2025 for each month, that has about Lisa shares about the gene keys and human design and all of the gates through 2025. I have the forecast reading for the year. Plus, I share the archetypal energy and influences of the signs and the influencing planet and the angelic connections. So there's a lot of videos in those, and you can check those out on More Than Existing Academy. That's mte.ca. Um, and also, you can purchase my books, my cards, everything. And if you like these videos, please subscribe and hit the notification button, hit the little bell so that you'll know when I post the videos. And then usually it's at least once a week. And we have also been releasing a one free class from the MT Academy, from More Than Existing Academy, where we are sharing some of my previous pre-recorded classes. And so we're sharing one class. And so there is in the videos, there is one of the Creating Heaven on Earth classes that I previously channeled and taught a while back. So you can also check that out. So I send you so much love. Have a beautiful week. And I will also have the full moon and lunar eclipse video that will also be coming out later in the week as well. Much love. Bye bye.